Building a website with Claude Code these days is easier than ever. But when you want people to actually use it, there's a number of things you need to do. And one of the most common ones is to add a sign up button. This will allow your website visitors to use their email to actually enter your platform and use your products. And in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly how you can add a sign up and a login button to your website completely for free. Let's get right into it. If you watched my last video, you know that I use Claude Code with design skills to build this beautiful website, which is a product for people who want to collect customer feedback from their early stage users and add their testimonials to their websites. And yes, it is like Trustpilot, but for a fifth of the price. If you want to see how I built it, you can watch this video right here. I will leave the link in the description. And if you want to check out the actual website, I will also leave the link in the description. Now, what I'm going to be showing you in this video is how I use Claude and Supabase in order to add a sign-up form to your website completely for free. And if you also want to add a sign up with Google button, make sure to stick around until the end of the video because I'm going to be taking you through the step-by-step on how to do that as well. But you're not here to hear me yap, so let's get right into it. The first thing I did was to go inside of my Claude project, which already existed, and open up plan mode again. In here, I essentially told Claude, I want you to build me a plan to turn this product into reality. So the homepage is built, but I want to add Supabase in order for people to actually sign up. And Claude gave me this plan right here in a matter of minutes. And as I scroll down, I can see right here that Claude is giving me a Supabase magic link plus Google Auth authentication, which is what we're going to use for our users to sign up. All you have to do at this stage is accept the plan. And Claude is going to start working on it, and it's going to put together a to-do list that's going to work through and implement your changes. After about 5 to 10 minutes, Claude gave me this result, which, as you can see, all of the to-do list points are completed, and it gave me a build. Now, a mistake that a lot of people make is to miss out this sentence. Not verified, anything touching a real database. I used placeholder credentials. Of course, Claude doesn't have the integrations necessary in order to create a real database that your users go into once they sign up. And so what people end up doing is going on their website, trying to make it work, as you can see right here. And then once they click on the button, it just doesn't work. And you think, oh, this is way more difficult than I thought. I thought Claude was going to create it for me. But no, you actually have to take a number of steps in order for this to work. And the very first one is to create a Supabase account. If you don't know Supabase, it's essentially a website that allows you to create a database for free. This is what the website looks like. And if you go to their pricing page, you will see here that they have a free tier account, which allows you to have up to 50,000 monthly active users. So that's a lot of users. And if you're starting out, you're definitely going to be within the free tier. So create an account is pretty simple, and you'll have access to your dashboard that looks just like this. From here, you're going to go back to Claude and say, I already have a Supabase account. Please give me the step-by-step guide on what I need to do in order to integrate with the actual database. And Claude's going to go away, it's going to come up with a plan, and it's going to give you these steps. The instructions include 7 points that we're going to have to go through, but if you don't have time to follow along in this video right now, I put together a guide with a step-by-step that you need to follow in order to implement a database and therefore a sign-up form in your website. I will leave the link in the description. It's completely free, so you can get it and just do it at your own time. But now let's start with the first instruction, which is going to be to create a project inside of Supabase. So here, what you have to do is to go back to the account that you've just created, go here and create new project. Here, you simply have to select a name for your project. So in my case, it's going to be reviews because the website's about reviews. And then I'm going to select a password. I'm going to create a password. I'm going to define my region. In this case, it's going to be Europe. And I'm just going to hit create new project. Then we're going to head to step number 2, which is inside of your Supabase account. You're going to go here to the left-hand side, and you're going to click on project settings. Now, inside of project settings, you will see API keys. You click on that and you will see here that you have a bunch of API keys for your project. Now, it's super important that you keep this confidential. You should not be sharing your API keys anywhere. In fact, you shouldn't even be sharing it in the Claude chat because this can leak. And if it does, you are in big trouble because if these keys are exposed, you may be hacked and people can run riot with your database. So be careful, always keep them confidential. What you have to do, however, is to copy your credentials and go here to your env local file and add them right here. As you can see, Claude already created this file and it says placeholder, and these are the keys that you will have to replace. For the public Supabase URL, you will be able to find it on your account right here under project settings. So you can just copy this and add it there. And for your Supabase anon key, you go to API keys, and right here, you're going to copy the publishable key. This is actually quite confusing because there is a legacy anon key, but that's not the one you should be copying. It's this one right here. Now, we've already done step 2 and step 3 because we added the keys already to our env file. So now you have to go into step number 4, which is to run the migrations on SQL. And to do this one, you have to go back to your Supabase account, go here to the left-hand side to project, and just under project overview and table editor, you'll find the SQL editor. Now, don't worry, you're not going to have to write a single line of code. You just have to click here and it automatically opens into this page. You're going to go back to Claude Code. You're going to click on the SQL document. You're going to copy the whole thing and you're going to paste it here and click run. So run query. If you wait a little bit, it will give you this result saying success, no rows returned. And that's a good thing. Now you go back to Claude and you run the second one. You do exactly the same. You open a new tab and you run it and success. So that's point number 4 done. If you want to build your own app or create your website, create your product, and you're struggling with the creation of it from end to end, I'm running a live session where I'm going to be taking you through how to use Claude Code to build your beautiful website. So I will leave the link in the description for that one. You might want to sign up and I hope to see you there. Oh, and of course, if you want to work directly with me to build your product, you can apply via my website because every month I choose a couple of people to work with. So I will also leave the link of that in the description. You can go and check it out. Now, going into step 5, we need to verify the policies. This is actually very similar to the previous point, where we have to run a number of SQL queries within Supabase, but individually, not all at once, just as Claude says. And how do we do that? Well, we open it up and you will see that there's 1, 2, 3, and so on. You're going to copy one by one and you're going to open it here and you're going to paste it and hit run. And we have to do this for all of them individually, which is a little bit of a boring process, but you have to do it. And Claude will actually tell you what the results are that you should expect if there are no errors, as you can see right here. But yes, you have to go through them one by one, and I'm just going to speed this process up. After doing all of this, you are able to launch your local host, which is npm run dev inside of your terminal. And if you're not familiar with this, I really do recommend you to check out my last video because I explained exactly how to open a terminal, how to launch a local server with your website so that only you can see. So go check it out if you don't know how to do that. But you run right here, npm run dev, you open your local server and you are able to see your websites. Now I'm going to click on start for free. And I'm going to add my email and I'm going to say, email me a link. And just like that, I'm going to receive an email right here from Supabase where I confirm my email address and I'm in. The account has been created. There is a sign up functionality within the website. And I'm just going to add my details right here because Claude not only helped me create the functionality, but he actually created what's behind the sign up form. So I'm going to add my details right here. I'm going to add my logo as well and hit create my review link. And there you go. I have my review link so I can start collecting reviews from my customers, which is pretty exciting. But now it's time for us to do something that's even more exciting, which is to add a sign up with Google button. Because let's be realistic, most people that are going to use your website, they're going to be clicking on this button. Nobody wants to add their email and the password these days. It's just so much easier to hit this button. So how do you actually do that? Well, if you go back to your Claude Code instructions, you will find that step number 7 is how to use Google Sign In as an option. And so if you start following the instructions, the first thing you have to do is to go back to your Supabase account and enable Google as an option for people to sign in. So you go right here to the left-hand side where it says sign in providers. You then scroll down and you find Google and you open it. Here it's going to open a tab on the side and obviously you're going to have to click enable sign in with Google here on the top. But that's not the only thing you have to do because after enabling Google, you actually have to go to your Google Cloud Console and create the right credentials. Now, if you've never used the Google Cloud Console before, don't worry about it. It's not too complicated. And by rule of thumb, most people already have an account because it's associated with your normal Gmail. But if you don't have one, you can simply create one for free. It's pretty easy. So I'm going to go here to Google Cloud Console. And as you can see, I already have an account. So what I'm going to do is to go to my project called Quizzings. This is the domain that I'm using for this website. And I'm going to go here to the left-hand side, find APIs and services, and then click on credentials. Under credentials, you're going to go here to the top and you're going to hit create credentials and then auth client ID. Click on that one. Then you go to the drop down, you select web application, you select the name of your project. In my case, I'm adding reviews. And then you're going to go here further down and you're going to add your authorized redirect URI. And this, you're going to take the line that Claude Code gave you, which is going to be your callback URL. After you add that, you hit create. And in no time, Google is going to give you a client secret and a client ID. You're going to copy that client ID. You're going to go back to your Supabase account and you're going to add it right here. Then you're going to copy your client secret and you're going to add it here as well. Make sure to keep these confidential. They're just for you and for the security of your database. Then you scroll all the way down and you hit save. And just like that, you will see here that Google has been enabled as a sign-in provider. So now the last point is to go back to Claude. And normally what you have to do is restart your local server, which you can do by hitting Control-C to shut the server and then npm run dev to restart the server. And if you already have a live website, then you have to do a git push into the live server. If you don't know how to connect your website to a real domain, make sure to subscribe to the channel because my next video is going to be taking you through how you take a project that you built with Claude Code and connect it to a live domain so that your website is live for millions of people to see. And you can do this completely for free. So make sure to stick around for that video. But in our case, we are still on a local server. So I'm going to relaunch it. I'm going to open it. And as you can see, the button of continue with Google is right here. I'm going to click on it and I'm going to select my email, continue. And just like that, I'm inside of my account. So in less than 15 minutes, we were able to take a website that didn't have a sign-up form into one that actually does and works, not just with a normal email, but also with the Google sign-in functionality. Hopefully this video was useful for you. If you have any questions or comments, make sure to leave them down below. Give this video a like and make sure to subscribe to the channel because I have a lot more content coming soon. Thank you again for watching and I'll see you in my next video.